What do you get when you combine 51 trophies, a shadowy assassin, 2 playthroughs, and 1 incredibly handsome Australian? That's right folks, we are back for another episode of Project Platinum, and today we are delving into the dark streets of Rome in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. What's that? The other Assassin series. The one with the rats. Okay. That's right folks, we're back delving into the streets of Dunwell in Dishonoured, a fast flash-in frantic action stealth hybrid originally released back in 2012, also known as the dark days when Symmetry was a wee young lad with no money, as opposed to now, where Symmetry is a wee older lad with no money. How time flies. Now, I had never really gotten to dabble in Dishonoured. I had played it a tad at a friend's place, but it was always a game that had eluded me. And so, the time has come. With 2 playthroughs and 51 trophies to ding, we must become the ultimate in assassin technology. We'll be splitting this journey into 2 playthroughs. Our first one will be a stealth one. No kills, no being seen, and no abilities. You know, because apparently I like a challenge. Playthrough 2 will be the high chaos cleanup run, wherein I enact sweet vengeance on all of the guards who force me to reload a save. Let's tuck in, shall we? We're introduced to our budding hero Corvo after a month at sea. Now, whilst I would like to say it was a fishing trip with the boys, he has sadly been thrust into a political mission and been sent for aid, to either find the cure for the plague that haunts the streets of Dunwell, or to find budding subscribers for this channel. Corvo has spent the majority of this time with Jeff here. Now, Jeff, well, just look at him. That is a face that screams, ooh, look at me, I'm trustworthy, I totally will not betray you. Oh, and he really likes his niece.
Have you ever met my niece Callista?
After disembarking the Black Pearl, we are sailed up this lovely piece of plumbing and introduced to a child? I didn't know this was a horror game. The next few minutes are spent playing run away from fatherly responsibilities. Oh, I don't actually know if Big Corv Dog here is the father, but I've played enough games to know that, well, he is the father. 50 bucks and a donutto in it for you if you can prove me wrong in the comments. After what feels like an eternity hiding from the kid, we are introduced to the Empress, and well, yeah, I'm definitely the father. Whilst enjoying some quality, we are very official and totally not boning, no not us time, Trouble Brews.
Come here.
Assassins, and the teleporty kind jump us. Good thing at this particular moment, a newspaper featuring the latest combat frads brushes past Corvo's face. Huzzah. Sadly, we are unsuccessful, and the Empress is mortally wounded. And in her last moment, she begs us to rescue Emily. Or at least that's what I think she said. I, as Corvo, was too busy worrying about what our Tinder bio would be now that we are single and ready to mingle. Unfortunately for us, the rest of the Empress's court take this a lot more seriously than me, and we find ourselves on a one-way trip to jail. After being rudely awoken, it is revealed that the traitors are actually the rest of the Empress's court. Now, I would like to say that I am thoroughly shocked, but I mean, she employed the Baldy Boys here, and come on, do any of them scream trustworthy? Baldy Boy B starts yammering on about how we were simply in the wrong place at the wrong time, which seems kind of rude if you ask me. You couldn't have waited for me to leave. I was gonna head to the pub, like 5 more minutes. That's all we really needed here. You could have got your job done, and I could have been halfway down a Carlton Dry. He also boasts about how no one will ever know, and we are to be executed tomorrow. But I mean, with an echo like this, the janitor 15 blocks over at McDonald's now knows, bro. Quieten down a tad when you give your evil speech. This is Bad Guy Baldy 101. Thrust into a cell, we immediately escape with the help of some mysterious allies. Now, Coleridge serves as our tutorial really, and where Operation Make Mum Proud by being a super cool pacifist comes into play. Simply sneak past the guards, pinching their keys, and the odd nighty night gets us to the door, and boom, freedom. The next step is to simply navigate the sewers, watch in awe as these rats chow down on some bad guys, and we meet Samuel. Sammy Boy here is tasked with whisking us to safety and giving us our first 2 trophies. Dishonoured is simply earned through escaping the prison, whilst Vanished is earned by... wait a second. That was only one trophy. That was supposed to be two. Oh no. You see, my dear sweet future subscriber, Vanished is earned by completing Cold Ridge without being detected. Now, Editor Simi has done us a solid and found the exact moment we were seen. Damn it! Ah well, one reloaded save and speedrun later, and boom, Vanish is popped. See guys, I am a professional trophy hunter, I promise. Onto the Hound Pits pub, and this pub acts as our central hub, and it is here where we meet those mysterious allies who helped us escape prison. Now, I'm normally not a trusting man, especially after the last 20 minutes. However, they do all have hair, so that makes them highly trustable. It is here that we may upgrade or purchase new gear, as well as take on the main missions of the game. After the day we've had, I think it's safe to say we deserve a night's sleep. However, the second that we hit the hay, this creepy fella intrudes and gives us the ability Blink. Blink allows us to teleport a short distance at the cost of mana, and whilst there are several more cool abilities in the game, we'll only be using Blink on this run. Why, I hear you ask? Well, there is a trophy for never buying any upgrades, so we must save those for playthrough 2. It is also here that we are introduced to Bone Charms, a collectible that can be used to equip perks. A cultist is popped by finding 10 of these bad boys. However, I seemingly have 10 just sitting in the room, so ding? With our orders to track down and go stabby on the High Overseer Campbell, we pop down to Sammy Boy and jump on the boat. Our first proper mission of the game has tasked us with performing Order Simi 6 on the High Overseer and safely extracting Jeff. Remember Jeff? Navigating the streets, it has quickly become apparent that the open-ended nature of this game is simply fantastic. Use the rooftops to sneak through, manipulate the rats to take out the guards. There are just so many possibilities to factor in, and this is something that I absolutely love about Dishonored. After sneaking our way into the headquarters and avoiding a metric crap ton of guards, we spot the two victims preparing for a lovely glass of champagne. Unlucky for them, I am clumsy and have already dropped all the glasses in my own eagerness to sample the vintage. Whoops. One double sleep, quick shot later, and we must now sneak the unconscious body of Campbell back upstairs, wherein we will torture him in unspeakably kinky ways, all for the trophy Excommunication. The things I do for trophies. Next up, we sneak back to Jeffrey, pick him up, remembering to bend with the knees, of course, and carry him safely back out of the building, across the street, and dump him in a lovely dumpster. With both of these tasks now complete, we sneak back across the rooftops to Sammy Boy, who promptly gifts us with 3 trophies. Bodyguard is earned for protecting Jeff. Spectre is for completing a mission undetected. Ezio would be so proud. And our last trophy in this batch is for completing a mission without alerting anyone. Let's just ignore the lockdown, the guards being on high alert after we branded the ever-loving F out of the High Overseer, shall we? Our next mission is to infiltrate the Golden Cat, a very classy establishment, and rescue Emily. But first, a cheeky detour. You see, the staff of our pub have been hearing all manner of strange noises. So we pop down to the sewer and find 2 Weepers. Weepers are essentially people who have been plagued and have become zombified. Think the mushroomy clickers from The Last of Us, only way less fun when you eat them. Upon arriving on the docks, we are again slapped with a detour to make. Game, please. I'm trying to get a video out here. You see, there are several trophies tied to Slackjaw, the local crime lord, and his side quest. 2 of these side quests can be done here and now. One rewarding us with passage into the Golden Cat, and one is actually really neat, in that it is a non-lethal way of disposing of our 2 targets in this mission. If we bring Slackjaw the code to a safe, he will kidnap the Pendleton brothers, give them a cheeky shave, cut their tongues out for the lulz, and throw them into a mine that has a 99.98% chance of not having a Balrog in it. First stop, we pop on over and quickly get his side quest out of the way. Nice and easy. I really do make an incredibly strapping, daring, and handsome assassin. Sorry, I got distracted there. My bad. Next stop is the Golden Cat itself, wherein we find the master of the code strapped to a giant Tesla coil thingy, kinky, and a couple jolts more than he expected, and bam, we have the code. It's super effective. Now, this is where things get saucy. You see, my plan was to get back to Slackjaw and give him the code for the trophy. However, upon leaving, I kind of found Emily already, so ding. Returning to Slackjaw, we also pop the Art of Steel and finish the mission, with Slack and the gang enacting their kind of insanely cruel plan on the Pendletons. Next up is the former royal physician Anton, only this time we are gonna kidnap him. Unfortunately for us, this won't be too easy. Once again, his house is located behind several batches of baddies and one giant bridge. This level really highlights the ability to play as you want. Want to sneak across the rooftops and scale the bridge? You can. Want to fight through waves of enemies? You can. Sneak through the houses and explore how Dunwell's citizens live? You can. I went with option A, mainly because we cannot be seen, but also because it nets us another cheeky trophy in King of the World. While sneaking through Anton's base of operations, we also accidentally pop Wall of Sparks. Now, this trophy is awarded for using one of these electrical gates here to kill an enemy. You know, the thing we absolutely cannot do. And so one cheeky reload later, we knock out the good doctor and hightail it back to Sammy Boy, popping 2 trophies. Capturing Genius and Madness for abducting Anton, and Surgical for getting to this mission having killed less than 10 enemies. Now it's on to the Boiled Ball. This mission is my favourite so far. We are tasked with sneaking into a ball, stealing all of the money, and murdering a lady of nobility. Only it's not so simple. Everyone is wearing masks, and I wasn't necessarily told to steal all the money, but I'm making that a bonus mission, and this is my project. I make the rules, damn it. This mission also introduces tall boys, and well, yeah, let's avoid those, hey? Sneaking into the ball via one stolen invite, and our first trophy opportunity arises. Thief is earned by pickpocketing 200 coins, and I don't want to brag, but I got this in about 4 seconds after entering. Hey, don't judge, Daddy has student debt to pay. Whilst conversing with my fellow 18th century ravers, I discovered that this gentleman here is in love with Lady Boyle. No, how sweet. What is even more interesting is that he offers us a proposal. If I can bring Lady Boyle back to his boat, he will sail off into the sunset with her, which is incredibly creepy. But you have a deal. Luring her to the basement is honestly incredibly easy and went something like this. Oi, there's someone here who wants to go stabby stab stab on you. It works every time, I tell you. One abduction I do not want to think about later, and we are sooting it back to Sammy and to the end of the level. With the gang all chuffed about our recent successes, they inform me of one final task. Take down the Lord Regent and install Emily back on the throne. Easy enough. Let's get started, shall we? With Sammy Boy at the helm, we sail back to the place where it all started, the palace, and hot damn, this place is packed. There are guards everywhere, and they are not happy to see me at all. Thankfully, I sneak my way into the palace and find a broadcasting unit. This is handy for 2 cheeky trophies. And now, let's find the recordings to broadcast. Hiding under the Lord Regent's desk not only allows me to hear his grand plans, but also gets me a peek at his fashion sense. Nerve-wrackingly, I whack open the safe, steal the recordings and present them to the world, exposing the Lord Regent as a very bad and very bald man. He is also the source of the plague. You see, his plan to reduce poverty and the population was to have half the city die of disease. Dick move, dude. Dick move. Escaping through the poop chute, we swim our way back to Sammy and escape to the Hound Pits pub. Boom, 2 more trophies. Poetic justice is worth noting, however, as this is earned by disposing of everyone in non-lethal fashion. So let's recap, shall we? First, we took the Overseer out by branding them a heretic. Second, we took out the Pendletons via abduction and slavery. The doctor we kidnapped. Lady Boyle got abducted. Yeah, nah, still feel bad about that one. And lastly, we exposed the Lord Regent as the traitor. And boom, that's everyone. Job well done, let's head to the pub. A beer with the boys later, and betrayal. These slimy scoundrels have spiked my drink and plan to off us. For their plan to work, they have to remove us from the equation and start ruling fresh. Bit rude, a case of Carlton Dry and a year's subscription to Netflix would have kept me quiet in all honesty. Luckily for us, Sam the man comes to our rescue and whisks us away. Unlucky for us, he's dropped us in a district that is A, flooded, and B, filled with those super annoying assassin dudes. Bruh. It is here that we are also introduced to the assassin Dowd, the man who killed the Empress and started all this mess. He is not impressed that we exist and so tosses our gear away and locks us in 2012 as a worst prison of the year. We spend about 4 seconds in said prison before immediately escaping, dodging several dozen of these annoying plant thingies and retrieving our gear for a cheeky bronze trophy in This Is Mine. We aren't done dinging just yet, for our next trophy is tied to Dowd himself and letting him live during our escape. The plan is simple. The execution? Well, that is not. All we need to do is blink in behind Dowd, steal his key, and GTFO. Except that this bastard right here is hell-bent on spotting us. Attempt after attempt after attempt, the man spots us, and you better believe I've noted him for our murder playthrough. This man is such a dick that he is absolutely not getting a Christmas card this year. Finally, after what felt like 20 minutes, I got the key, popped Mercy as the mark, and finished the level. With one more to go, the stealth playthrough's end is in sight. With one final level, we arrive upon the shores of King Sparrow Island and begin our ascent to the top. This island is more populated than a Taylor Swift concert, and the guards are more alert than me in a bottle-o clearance. So, we must sneak as best we can up the tower to Emily. Lord Havelock is our final hurdle between us and a boatload of Emily. That's definitely my priority here. Trophies are definitely secondary. So, I brace myself for the challenge of defeating him. He can be found at the head of a long table, surrounded by the corpses of Pendleton and Martin. I assume he poisoned them in the hopes of securing the platinum trophy for himself. And with Havelock located, we must now challenge him to a fight for survival. Well, that was easy. And with Emily free, we earn 7 trophies. Just revel in that dingage. With all the stealth trophies and no kills trophy bundled and ticked off, it is time for our high chaos playthrough. And you better believe I've waited to enact sweet vengeance on the guards that spotted me no less than 4,000 times. Now, for the sake of time, I will be summarizing playthrough 2 and pointing out when each of our juicy remaining trophies pop. High chaos and low chaos do work slightly differently, with story beats changing ever so slightly and world states being altered. I will cover these as we hit each level. With the missus freshly murdered for the 2nd time this week, we are back in prison and back escaping. We're nothing if not consistent, with the guards going from being the Eye of Sauron to my pincushions. The slaughter begins, and so does our earning of combat trophies. Cleaner is our first stabby stab related ding, a trophy that requires us to slaughter 5 or more guards at once. Something that is incredibly easy to achieve during the prison escape, because upon planting this here bomb, unlimited guards spawn, both to like me and subscribe to my blade. This is the only trophy we earn in the prison break, and so we meet up with the loyalists, size up how many crossbow bolts each will need later, and hurtle into this mission. Now, because we broke out of the prison in high chaos, the streets are now packed with guards. It's cute, as whilst they think this will hinder me, it will only help me rake in a barrage of trophies. So let's get popping, shall we? Rogue pops first and is awarded for etzoing 10 unaware enemies. Razor Rain here also harnesses my love of Assassin's Creed by tasking us with aerial killing 5 enemies. I'm still looking for a hay bale to land in though, sadly. Back home has us killing an enemy with his own grenade and trying out the bend time ability for the first time. Spoilers, it's really cool and would have been so helpful in our stealth playthrough. We also meet Granny Rags in this level, one of the 2 NPC quest givers we need to butter up and complete a couple tasks for. Namely, murder some lads and spike some drinks. Remind me not to go clubbing with her, please. Through helping Gran, we also gather enough runes to unlock Possession, a skill that not only allows us to control others and manipulate them, but also nets us another 3 trophies. First up, we are getting real wild with it and taking control of a fish for Alive Without Breath. The other 2 Possession trophies can easily be snapped up by taking control of a rat and sitting in a tunnel for Creepy Crawly and Inhabitant. Now moving on to murder the Overseer real quick, and we will pop our final trophy for the level in Speed of Darkness. A trophy that once again takes advantage of our newfound abilities and is awarded for travelling 30 meters in a second. So let's bend time real quick and blink several times, shall we? The next mission has several more combat trophies within it, as well as our first unique assassination. This, by the way, is something I really love about Dishonored. The attention to detail and diversity of actions is phenomenal. We also must head back to Slackjaw and work for his side quests. This will help us earn trophies later in the game. First stop on the ding train is Food Chain, a trophy for assassinating a fellow assassin. As the ultimate in sneaky boy technology, I quickly locate and pounce on the assassin, and subsequently, the trophy. Manipulator is next, and oh, this is a doozy. We must have an enemy kill 5 of his allies, but we're about to be super big brain here. Normally, we would need an enemy to lob a grenade and RNG kill 5 teammates. However, Slackjaw's boys have flame breath attack when aggroed, so my super sexy grand plan is the following. We sleep dart 5 dudes, we then pile them up, we then aggro one of the henchmen, and lastly, we stand on the other side of the cuddle buddies and let them get nice and toasty. Reloading the save, I gather up my cuddle group for a cheeky second trophy. Hornet's Nest is popped by headshotting 4 dudes in a second with a crossbow. This is impossible without using bend time, and I mean, we conveniently have our little group readily available for a bruising, so let's just pop that real quick. Sadly, we must now leave the boys to cuddle without us and move on with our lives and straight to the Pendletons. Once again, to tie in the Slackjaw questline, we must kill Morgan here, then reload the save and send the brothers off to the mines with Slackjaw. What happened next? Well, it was unspeakable. For I hurtled my way into the classy establishment like the nugget of death that I am, and in a whirlwind, murdered everyone within sight. No more did they have the power to see me. Who cares? It's stabby time, and I basked in the blood of my enemies. I might have got a little bit carried away there, but it is the truth, because I could not find Morgan to save my life. For what felt like 20 minutes, I searched top to bottom in search of the fella, until finally I found him in the basement getting steamy with the missus. Literally. Upon turning in on a job well done, we also popped Merchant of Disorder for upgrading our gear 15 times. Next mission, shall we? The Escapist is next. Probably the second most annoying trophy in the entire game for me, honestly. Sounds easy enough. Gather 5 guards to you and escape so they de-aggro. I initially attempted this in mission 1. I also initially failed hard. You see, I have found that the guards have super weird pathing when they aggro to you, and as a result, their area cone can at times be super small, meaning they'll just kind of stand there swearing at you. I knew these guards were Australian, I knew it. However, Colwyn's Bridge is where my luck finally strikes on this trophy, and after telling them all to get a real job, I hide like the totally brave man that I am and pop the trophy. This is the only trophy we'll be popping for this level, so we haul absolute ass to the good doctor, snatch him up like a discount Woolies roast barbecue chook, and hightail it out of there. The Boil Ball is next, and we have 3 trophies here for the checklist, one of which sucks. First up, we know tall boys are introduced in this level, so let's go kill one real quick, only using our sword. Normally, this would actually be kind of tricky. However, with a good slow-mo time and a well-placed blink, we can teleport up and assassinate one of the tall buggers for an easy trophy. And now, for the Simi Sucks at Gaming award for most annoying trophy, Meet Harm's Way. This devil of a trophy requires you have 5 enemies kill themselves. Easier said than done, I tell you. There are, to my knowledge, 2 ways of doing this. Method 1, have an enemy fire their gun at you. Freeze time. Then move the person in front of their own bullet using possession. Method 2, at the boiled ball, there is an insta-death electric wall. Now, if you tamper with the wall and make it kill the guards, this doesn't work as a self-kill. Trust me, I tried. But if we were to possess the guests and have them walk into the wall as we stop possessing them, then it does count. There is only one issue with this. The second we get our first kill, the guards aggro, and like 90% of the guests despawn. So, let me tell you, attempt after attempt, I would get to like 4 out of the 5 people, only to run out of guests, until finally, we get a good run, and boom, success. One boil back on a boat later, and we are off to kill the Lord Regent. With both the Escapists and Harm's Way out of the way, I was feeling really good. 3 more levels, and pretty much just largely misc trophies remain. It was all downhill from here, and the platinum was in sight. The next mission was another super quick one. Simply speedrun our way back to the Lord Regent, give him the old knifey stabbies, and find a couple blueprints before legging it right back out the level. Pop back to the pub, get spiked, and wake up in the flooded district. Is anyone else feeling deja vu here? Once again, we are put in the world's worst prison cell and promptly make our escape, popping versatile in the process as we have now successfully murdered with every possible offensive gadget. We then pop over to Dowd's place and give him a cheeky left-right goodnight before heading for the escape. It is here that our 2 playthroughs again wildly differ. Because we have done all of Granny and Slack's side quests, this lovely gentleman here will spawn in and beg us to complete one of the quests. Little does he know that with the power of reloading, we're about to do both. Let's start with Granny Rags. The old girl has captured Slackjaw and thinks he will make a lovely stew. Personally, I would have gone with a roast, but I'm not going to question the lady with a knife. We assist her with the deed, and in return she gives us 2 trophies. Our dealer has popped here, as amongst the goodies that Granny has gifted us is the final Sokolov painting. No, she always was the sweetest. Gentleman Caller is also earned here for completing all of her quest line. Now let's reload the save and grab Slack's quest trophy. For his quest, we must stop Granny and free him. Simple enough. Let's just ignore the fact that she's apparently some eternal rat demon or something. It can't be anything too dangerous. Cook up her locket and defeat her with a 360 no-scope Black Ops 1 montage, free Slackjaw, and Street Conspiracy is now ours. With only 4 trophies and 1 level left, the time has come. Sharpening my blades, drinking my gamer fuel, and praying to our Lord and Saviour Optinoob, I pack my things and head for King Sparrow Island. Upon docking, Sam essentially tells us to sod off. Another big difference from the first playthrough, wherein because we didn't kill anyone, he wanted to be besties for life. Holding back tears from my fresh Sammy rejection, I take to the beach and slaughter my way to each of 5 alarms around the island for the trophy Lights Out. Entering the lighthouse, we find our next story change. Whilst in the previous run, Havelock had poisoned Martin and Pendleton, this time, the 3 are having a mini faction split, with Martin and Pendleton duking it out, whilst Havelock sits alone in the tower. We quickly time bend Martin into the underworld, and Pendleton dies of cowarditis, a tragic way to die. Up the tower we go, until at last we find Havelock and Emily at the peak, and like the hero we are, we line Havelock up and... Oops. Reload the save. None of you saw that, okay? That didn't happen. None of you saw that. With Emily saved, Havelock vanquished, and the High Chaos playthrough complete, we revel in Platinum Glory.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
And with the platinum in my possession, I can put this game down, knowing that I have 100% in Dishonored. Oh god, it's got DLC.